This lighting is awful and I'm really sorry. Oh my god, hey you guys, it's been a minute. So this is a video I wish existed when I was like 20, sometime in my youth, because I would always kind of search on YouTube to see how other people would get agents, but I never found people who were specific to Toronto. I think the closest I got was Vancouver, but I didn't know if that was the same thing. So today I am going to share how to get an agent, a film and TV agent in Toronto. Now please keep in mind there really is no like set formulaic way to get an agent. What I'm going to share with you is just basically tools and information that have been given to me by reputable acting schools here in the city, as well as my own personal experience because I'm like a working actor, you know, like I'm a professional or whatever. And as well as the experience of some of my actor friends. So, I need my notes. So, ooh, girl, I don't know why my ring light just makes me look like Tim Burton character, so sorry about that. But when it comes to submitting to an agent or agency here in Toronto, I'm gonna break it down into 3 categories. Your pre-submission package, creating your package, and then finally submitting it and following up. So number 1, pre-submission package. So for the pre-submission package stage, this is basically just a lot of self-reflection and a lot of researching. So what you want to ask yourself is, are my performances up to industry standard? Because there are thousands of actors here in the city and there are thousands of people who want representation from reputable agents. So you want to be like, okay, where does my performances compare to those who are actually working on TV? And the best way to get an answer to that question is to go to acting school or acting classes, basically. There are lots of acting schools here in Toronto. I'll list some in the sync below for you to click on, but basically just do your own research. If you Google like film acting schools in Toronto, like a lot of the most popular ones will be the first ones to pop up. I'm not gonna name them just because I might get in trouble. But yeah, and there's like just a bunch. Just Google and do your research and ask around to see, but those 4 are definitely good ones to start for sure. Now, another question that you want to ask yourself in the pre-submission package stage is, what's my type? Basically, this question is how your agent is going to be pitching you to casting directors. So are you like the little delicate, soft ingenue? Are you the tough security cop? Are you a very stoic lawyer? And great ways to get answers to those questions is an acting class. A lot of the time in acting class, they'll have you sit up in a chair and then your classmates will give you feedback on how you come off and how you present yourself and kind of the energy and vibe and characters that they can see you playing, and those are great ways. And you don't take it personally, like it's not a personal thing, but that's how casting directors and people will see you, because that's just naturally the energy you give off. Another way you can find out this question is just asking your family and friends to be like, hey, like, what kind of vibe do I give off? Am I stoic? Am I like, I don't know. Just ask your family and friends. Those are great ways to answer this question. Now, another thing that you should be doing in the pre-submission package stage that is super important is research the agent or agency that you want to submit to. This is so important because this is the person and the company that's going to be representing you to you know, producers, directors, agencies, casting directors. The kind of questions that you want to know: are they reputable? What is their relationship like with other casting directors, with directors in the city, with producers, with other production agencies? Answering that question can always be kind of tricky because it's kind of hard to know the reputation of an agent because, you know, it's going to be based on everybody's own personal bias. So I would say to try and get, you know, keep it as neutral and general as possible. A great way to get to know someone's reputation is to ask fellow actors, ask maybe people in staff members and actors and coaches who are working in the reputable acting schools here in Toronto, because a lot of those coaches have been in the industry for years and years and years, and they kind of know who's who and what's what and how everybody's kind of general relationship, and they probably have actor friends who are actually represented by the agent or agency that you want to submit to. Are current actors and clients on the rosters, are they working? What projects are they working on? Are those kinds of projects that you want to be on? Because if you're looking at actors who are currently working in projects that you want to be on and they're represented by an agent that you want to look to submit to, then that's the perfect way to be like, oh, this agent is getting their actors in through the door for these projects that I want to work on. This is great. Do they have actors that look like me? That's the next question you want to ask. Because if they have actors that already look like you, they may not be looking to fill that void. But I mean, that doesn't mean that you don't have to apply to them, because still apply, like who cares, right? The worst that they can say is like, oh, actually I already have somebody who looks like you, but like maybe in like another couple months you could just like reapply and we could see where this goes. Another great way to snoop and see what clients and actors are on the agency or agent that you want to submit to is to subscribe to IMDb Pro. Now, IMDb Pro, it can be a bit expensive for some people. You can either be billed monthly, I think it's about $14 US, or there's an annual billing. But it's so worth it if you want to go into acting professionally. You can see who is represented by who, you can see their star meter, you can see, so if you're researching an agent, you can see who their client list is, you can see, and then go in further and see what they're working on, what projects are they working on. And that's a really super important way to see if their actors are actually working and to see what kind of projects they are working on. So you can compare and see like, oh yeah, that agent is getting them through that door. Like I really want to work on this project. This would be really great. Now, another great way to see who's reputable here in the city of Toronto is the ACTRA Toronto agent listing. And basically on the ACTRA Toronto website, it lists all the reputable agents here in the city. It lists their website, it lists their phone number, it lists what kind of talent they represent. So like if they're kids focused, or if they only focus on adults, or if they only focused on established talent. And then it also lists what they focus on. So do they only do theater? Do they only do film and TV? Are they only commercial agents? Or are they all of the above? And it also lists if the agent is a part of TAMAC. And just when I was researching, I found that to be a really helpful tool because, you know, it's really easy to fall into an agency that can take advantage of you. Do not pay your agent any money. When you first start. Reputable agents don't make money unless you make money. So whenever you book a job, the agent will take maybe 10 to 15% commission off of your check, and that's what they earn. So it's super important to do your research, or else, because you don't want to be taken advantage of, especially when you're gonna put yourself out there. Like acting is scary as hell enough, especially when you think of it as a professional career. It's already like super vulnerable. You don't want to have your vulnerability taken advantage of. So do your research. I will also put that link in the sync below so you can take a look at it and do your own research. Okay, so now that we've really done some research and some inner reflection on our pre-submission package stage, now we're gonna go to phase 2, which is creating your submission package. Okay, so there are 3 main ingredients to an agent submission package, and that is your headshots, your demo reel, and your resume. Headshots! So for headshots, this kind of links into the question that we thought of in the pre-submission package, what is your type? So your headshots, you want it to reflect not only your personality, but the kind of roles that you want to be going out for and that your agent will be putting you out for. It depends on what kind of photographer you find, but let's say you do 3 different looks. You're like, okay, I want to wear something very neutral and simple that's not overwhelming, but kind of gives the essence of the cop, that gives the essence of like the young ingenue, that gives the essence of the super, you know, femme fatale. Whatever your type is, that's kind of what you want your headshots to reflect. And you also want to get professional headshots. If you can't afford it, try finding a friend who has, you know, a really fancy schmancy camera or like a high resolution kind of camera, and you can just take it like that. If you can afford a professional photographer, what I would recommend is going through IMDb Pro and going through the clients of the agent or agency that you want to submit to and look at their headshots. Who were they shot by? If you notice, a lot of actors in the city kind of use the same 3 photographers, and it's like very clear who those photographers are. I don't know if I should name them or not, but like, yeah, everybody here uses their work, so it's really up to you and your flavor and your taste and what you kind of want to do. All you have to do, it's like a simple Google, all you have to do is like professional actor headshots Toronto, and a list of professional photographers will come up in the city that you can shoot with. Really look at their work, look at how, because that's basically how your photos are going to come out. So is that the kind of finished product that you want to be presented by when you submit to the agent? So just as long as you have professional headshots, I think you'll be fine. I mean, my headshots, I've known people that have taken it on an iPhone and have gotten into the room to meet an agent. So if you absolutely can't afford it, you know, use your phone and try and find a place that with a neutral background with good lighting and do your best. But if you can afford it, I would recommend investing in a professional headshot. Next up is resume. So your resume, you could, again, a simple Google, if you just put actor headshot or actor resume template. There are a bunch of templates. You want to keep it super simple. A lot of the acting schools here in Toronto will also, they have on their website like resume templates that you can download and model your resume after. Now, for any of you who are watching who don't have anything on your resume, I mean, it's not the end of the world. You can still submit. I know people who haven't done anything, who've gotten into the room to meet an agent. I personally, I knew that I wanted to have something under my belt to show my agent that I can book a job on my own. So I went and did a couple of student short films. And the reason I picked specifically student short films here in Toronto is because student short films have an agreement with ACTRA, so that ACTRA actors can actually participate in these student films. And so I chose that because I wanted to say, hey, look, even without an agent and without being in the union, I can book these short student films without any help. And I think to my agent, that kind of showed them, okay, like they know what they're doing, they have somewhat experience, they have some talent, and they can do it on their own. So like they've already got a leg up. But I mean, it's not the end of the world if you really don't have anything. If you don't have anything, then that's where the next and final piece comes in. Number 3, the demo reel. You need a demo reel. And a demo reel can be a bunch of things, but basically it has to showcase your strongest performances as an actor. And it should have some kind of range and diversity, meaning it should have some comedic sides and it should have some dramatic sides as well. If you have participated in some student films, you can use those clips in your demo reel if they are good. But I mean, if they don't really showcase yourself as an actor and they're on the other actor in the scene, like your scene partner, you wouldn't really want to use them anyway. So in that case, if you don't have professional stuff at the ready, you can just pick comedic scenes and dramatic scenes and just put it on tape. You can use your phone, you can go to a professional self-tape studio. That's what I would recommend if you can afford it. They can be a bit pricey, but that way if you go to professional self-tape studio, it comes out with HD, you know, you can see yourself clearly with a professional actor reading with you, so you always have that kind of banter, and you can be coached as well. And you want to keep the demo reel relatively short because keep in mind, agents have like a bunch of clients and they're busy 24/7. So you want to be able to hook their interest within a short amount of time. I think the longest time I've seen recommended by professional film studios is like a 2-minute demo reel. So within 2 minutes, you have to have little clips of comedic takes on scenes as well as dramatic takes on scenes. So 2 minutes is super important, and make sure the quality is good, the lighting is good, the costume, it's your best take on your performances, and just do your best. Finally, we've reached the time where you're ready to submit your agent package. Okay, so submitting. So you've picked the agent that you want to do and the agency. So the first thing is to go on the agent's website, if they have it, and read the submission instructions. More or less, you're just probably going to be sending an email, but there are some agencies that have websites where you literally can just type in your name, attach your resume and some video clips, and click submit, and it goes straight into their inbox so that all of the agents in the agency can review your package. There are other agencies that will just simply, if you can just find their email and it's listed on their website and you just send the email. So when it comes to an email, you're going to attach all your documents, your resume, headshot, and your demo reel, or a link to the demo reel. Make sure it's the right link because that has happened. I've seen that happen before where they send the wrong link, and make sure it's the right agent and all of the grammar is correct. And in the case of the email, you don't want to write like a huge, you know, monologue on like, I've always wanted to act for 12 years, this is my calling. You don't want it to be too long because they don't have the time to read it. You want it to be short and concise. So what I would recommend doing is address the agent personally. a short introduction of yourself. Say that you're looking for representation here in the city, you're a Toronto-based actor, and address why you are submitting to this agent in particular and why you think you would work well together. Short, sweet, to the point. But yeah, and triple check that everything is spelled correctly and that you got the agent's name right, because that'd be super embarrassing. And so once that's sent, you click send, and then it goes. And then you wait. And this is probably the worst part, like waiting, because agents are super busy, and it also depends on what time of year that you're submitting. If you're submitting during pilot season, you know, they may not even see your email first, or they might like think like, oh yeah, I'll get back to that, and totally forget about it. So if you submit, don't follow up with an email every single day, because that's irritating, and they're gonna be like, okay, like obviously this person had, I don't know. But once you send the email, wait 2 to 3 weeks to hear back from them. They may respond right away. They may take some time to respond and think about it. But if you haven't heard back from them in 2 to 3 weeks, send a follow-up email. And in this follow-up email, be like, hi, I submitted to you 2 to 3 weeks ago. I just wanted to check and see if you got my email. And in that case, they might be reminded and be like, oh yeah. And they'll get back to you, be like, yeah, I'll review it in a minute. Or be like, hey, I just need a minute to think about it, and maybe. Or they could just say, hey, I'm not looking for anybody to add to my client list at that time. And that is totally okay. This business is all about rejection. It's all about told being no. And just because one agent that you had your eye on doesn't want you particularly at this moment in time, it doesn't mean that you can't be an actor. You can always submit to another agency, or you can just wait a couple months, because a no right now doesn't mean a no in the future. I've seen people who have submitted to one particular agent that they really wanted to work with. The agent said no, not at this time. This person waited a couple months, took the time to build their resume and add credits to their list. They submitted again to the same agent in like 6 months, and that agent wanted to work with them and added them to the client list. So it really depends on the timing. It depends on their roster. They may be interested in you but think you're not experienced enough, so they may send you out to go gain some more experience and then come back and talk to them when you've had some experience under your belt. Or you could walk in and get signed on the spot. Like, there is no set formulaic way, like I said at the beginning. I mean, more or less, from what I've heard, most of the agents in this city are, you know, they're nice. They're not gonna be mean to you. They're not gonna take the time to like take a giant shit on you or like, you know, if your package is super unpolished, you know, and they tell you, take that feedback, you know, take the constructive criticism, work on your submission package, get yourself together, and then resubmit. So please don't be discouraged if you don't hear anything or if you get a no. Just move on to the next agent, because this business is all about persistence. You have to be persistent and consistent. And I think that's it. This was a video that I searched when I was 20, I think. I wasn't applying for agency yet, and I didn't even think I was going to be a professional actor. But I just kind of wanted to see what everybody in Toronto was doing, and nobody was giving me the scoop. So now here you guys are in the know from a professional working actor, whatever the fuck that means. Yeah, I really hope this video was helpful. I kind of just rambled on for a whole lot, and I know that my editing skills is not gonna be good. So if you have any questions, just write it in the comment section below and I will respond. Or like find me on Instagram and message me, be like, girl, help. And I will answer you, no problem. Okay, I still don't know how to sign off on YouTube videos, so. Alright, bye guys.